being with other people is, in the main, for people who have no kind of self-awareness, is largely about being servile or dominant. That's all it's about. I've seen it over and over and over again. In fact, I think that's the only, it's the only animal type thing that happens. In a group of people, someone is kind of like the leader of the pack, and the others have to some extent, be servile. If you don't like that, and I don't like that, then don't socialise, which I think is not a problem for a lot of people here. But it does lead to loneliness, and I'll speak about loneliness probably right at the end of this, if I remember. In fact, no, I'll be speaking about it quite a way through, actually, thinking about it, because I've got a quote from Pessoa. So let me put the first slide up. Why is being with people so painful? Because I know I've quoted this many times, but you have to be mindful of what these great thinkers have said. This is Spinoza, Proposition 55 in Part 3 of the Ethics. If you're wondering why it's painful to be with people, well, in 2 sentences, Spinoza spits it out and tells you. Everyone is eager to tell of his exploits and to boast of his strength of both body and mind. Oh, we've just been on holiday to the Caribbean. We're just having an extension done to our house. Or, if it's intellectual types, I've just had my paper reviewed by, yada yada yada. It's going to be published in so-and-so. That's, to a large extent, all you'll get in your social interaction with people who have no awareness, no understanding. That's really the thing. So everyone is eager to tell of his exploits and to boast of his strength of both body and mind, and for this reason men bore one another. Most social interaction is boring. If it's boring, why do we do it? Well, we do it because we're, mainly animals. And socializing is an instinctive thing for us, not perhaps as frantic as many people do it, but there's a basic need there to be part of a herd in some way. And since we're not here to beat our beast to death, we indulge it now and then, maybe, in a bit of socializing. Which is, usually fairly painful, but we do it anyway. I don't do it, or hardly at all. Anyway, so men bore one another. And then Spinoza says, from this it again follows that men are by nature envious. That is, they rejoice at the weakness of their fellows and are pained at their accomplishments. Look, this is it. If you really understand those 2 sentences, you understand the whole of human interaction and why hell is other people. Because they won't want you talking about your new higher paid job or your vacation to wherever or your new $100,000 motor vehicle or whatever. They don't want to hear it because you are where is it? You are boasting of the strength of both body and mind. They don't want to hear it. This is individual knatas, the striving to exist. These are individual knatas battling with each other. Oh, is he stronger than me? Well, fuck him. I'm going to tell him that I've just won 100 grand on the whatever. So if this is the nature of social interaction, and let me make a point here, actually. This is the second time I did it again. I forgot to put the headphones on. Happily, I noticed it after about 2 minutes. But I started the first go at this in a slightly different way. You know what? I think I've forgotten it. Just let me stop this a minute while oh yeah, I didn't have to pause it for long. I don't know if you've noticed, but the more you are prepared to contemplate the reality of our existence, the happier you become. You might not have noticed that, but if you keep at it and you're honest and sincere, that's what happens. It's not like you're fighting against some horrible delusion that you have. You see people, for example, Friday night maybe, they spend a couple of hours getting ready to go out, full of anticipation, never learning that it's going to be crap. And they go out and they come back depressed or just drunk and whatever. The whole thing has been a bit of a nightmare, and they just collapse on the bed and go to sleep or something. If you already know it's going to be a nightmare, then you possibly won't do it, or at least you'll go without the expectation that you are going to find some kind of nirvana on your Friday night out. So, the more you understand the nature of your relationship with other people, the real nature of it, that they'll hate you if something good has happened to you, and they'll like it if something bad has happened to you. They'll never admit that, of course. You see it on some social media. Somebody will say to their group of friends, their 500 friends, oh, my partner or whatever fell and broke their leg yesterday. I spent all day at the hospital. Meanwhile, the 500 friends are thinking, oh, that's great. But they'll put, oh, poor you. But what are they really thinking? They're dancing around the room. Hooray, somebody's weaker than me. So, people will rejoice at your weakness. Look, get this into your head if you haven't got it already. That's the nature of human relationships. They rejoice at your weaknesses and be pained at your accomplishments. That's the reality of it. I have to say, at the deconstruction week, I started off very tentatively because I didn't know really what the appetite was for some fairly rough stuff. In the end, what was served out was probably medium rough, but it became clear very quickly that the people who'd come along already knew it was all a shit show. I didn't have to kind of tread gently. Anyway, let's get on to this quote by Pessoa. So remember that. Have it, I don't know, on your phone somewhere, just to remind yourself. So, in Pessoa's Book of Disquiet, which is absolutely beautiful, in his Book of Disquiet, letter, or whatever they call it, 283, he says, so we've just talked about what a crap show it is. So socializing. Freedom is the possibility of isolation. It's a very strong statement. He goes on to say, you are free if you can withdraw from people, not having to seek them out for the sake of money, company, love, glory, or curiosity, none of which can thrive in silence and solitude. So why do people go out? Well, there's a number of things here. They go out to work to earn money. They go out to socialize, company. They go out to maybe find a sexual partner or a mate. They go out to display the grandeur of their state, glory. Or they might go out because they're curious about other people or trying to find something new. Freedom is the possibility of isolation. Isolation is difficult, but I'll get on to that later. You are free if you can withdraw from people, not having to seek them out for the sake of money, company, love, glory, or curiosity, none of which can thrive in silence and solitude. If you can't live alone, you were born a slave.